All right, welcome back, tennis fans, to our podcast. Tonight, James and I are rolling solo, or not solo, but without our third co-host, Sandra. Sandra, we miss you.
Yeah, we miss you,
Come
Sandra.
back from the coast as soon as you can, and we'll get you behind the camera or in front of the camera again. Just me and James tonight, so, America is back to old school. So tonight we're just going to roll with some tournament information. So James, let's just talk about the tournaments at the end of the season. We got the Asian swing and the European indoor season. So which side do you want? We got the men's and the women's. Which side do you want?
Well, I'm going to tell you, there's some tournaments that caught my eye on the WTA side.
Okay.
And just to congratulate some champions. But there was some great tennis played in all of these events. And first one I was just talk about it. It's kind of like a little heartbreaker because one of my favorite players who had a little injury there and had to withdraw. Of course, we're talking about the Osaka Open,
right?
And of course, Naomi had to withdraw after a difficult match. She injured herself, but we wish her all the best. She'll be back, getting herself healthy, and be ready for Australia, I'm sure, in the beginning of the year. However, congratulations to Miss Leylah Fernandez, who has got her fifth career title.
That's pretty good.
And defeated the young player Valentova. I think
Teresa Valentova,
yeah,
18-year-old qualifier.
Yeah, that's just amazing. Had a great tournament. And I think for Fernandez, I just think her experience, being in that situation, paid off for her. She was just consistent. And I've just watched her develop so many different skills in her game that she didn't have when she first started. She always had the talent and the ability. And I first saw her right after COVID when they had this tournament, the special team tournament, the women's team tournament, and all I knew was that she was a junior from Canada. And I remember she went out there and handed Sloane Stephens her shoes and socks. Right. I was like, who is this kid? But anyway, congratulations on her on that win. And also we had the Bingo, is it
Nabingo
Open
in China.
Yeah, in China. And of course, Elena Rybakina gets her win over Alexandrova. Two big hitters.
Yeah.
I mean, just lights out and just amazing tournament, amazing tennis to watch them play, and just that ability to just keep that ball at that pace consistently. And it's just amazing. So those two that stood out to me, I just enjoy watching those tournaments, watching the competition. Ladies getting ready, getting them ready.
Getting ready for the year end, which we're going to talk about in a minute.
Exactly.
Yeah, Rybakina won her 10th career slam, not slam, but title.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, this gets her ready for the year end because it gave her some more points for the year end.
Also, American Amanda Anisimova has had a great run at the end. She got to the final, won the China Open.
Right.
Got a title there. Shanghai Masters in China, and then Queen's Club.
Right.
So she's had a great run at the end of the year. Definitely going to be she will be in the championship.
Yeah, she's already qualified.
Yeah, she's qualified. Her career is, blowing up.
Yeah. And again, she's already qualified, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later. I'd like to also add to on the women's side the Osaka, Japan, not for Naomi, but the Osaka, Japan Open. Just to throw in another one, Taylor Townsend won again with a different partner.
Yes.
She won with the French player Milinovic. So they beat Hunter and Kravchuk. So we tip our hat to strong doubles players. We tip our hat to Taylor, who's just like her other partner, who we're going to talk about a little bit later. Whoever is playing with her, they've got a good chance of winning that title. So congrats to Taylor.
Definitely established herself as the top, doubles player in the world.
Yeah,
deservedly so. The numbers don't lie.
Absolutely. So you handled the women. Let me talk about the men. So. We were talking about this before. I'm going to go ahead and throw it, even though this didn't happen this week. In the Shanghai Masters, you had two cousins in the finals. You had Arthur Rinderknech, who lost to his cousin, who was a qualifier, Valentin Varosh, defeated his cousin 4-6, 6-3, 6-3. And that's an amazing story because, again, Varot, if I'm mispronouncing his name, I apologize. But he qualified, barely got out of the qualifiers.
He should have lost in the qualifying tournament.
And then proceeded to defeat 5 top 50 players in the world, to include Talon Griekspoor, Alexander Bublik, Holger Rune, the GOAT, Novak Djokovic, which we're going to talk about in a second. And then he took out his cousin.
Yeah.
So, that is an amazing run and it's life-changing because he wins a Masters 1000. He jumped 200 some odd spots in the ranking. Life-altering, even though he's 26 and he's been on tour for a while. Gotta wonder, and got to be thinking, this is the kind of play that you want to see for these players that have struggled to make it. Did you want to add on?
No, I agree. It's always good to see those players. You always refer to them as journeyman players, but they've been out there battling on the challengers, and they get opportunities to qualify for a tournament. And when they get through, it's just always great to see them advance, and it's even better to see them win and get a victory. So his career has changed, and now he'll be able to get into more tournaments. I'm sure there's
without having to qualify.
Without having to qualify,
right.
Exactly, and there are a lot of perks that come with that too,
and a lot of pressures too. But
he'll
worry about that next year.
That's right.
Time.
That's it, because now he's going to have to defend those points, and that's tough. But congratulations to him, and I know it's tough, beating your cousin.
Right.
but they're pros. That's their job.
Right.
Their job is to beat each other.
It was a touching moment at the end, where both cousins were out there on the main stage.
But Rene Kanesh, he was disappointed because
of course, he had an opportunity to win. Cousin and no cousin.
Yeah,
you want to win that Masters 1000.
Exactly.
So. But that was the week before. This ending this week, the weekend of October 18th. You had the Almaty Open in Kazakhstan. Daniel Medvedev, he won his first tournament in over 2.5 years, defeating the crafty and this dude is going. Mute is just
he's that player.
He's annoying, but he gets the ball back. He's crafty. He doesn't. He defends well. Tough 3-set match, 7-5, 4-6, 6-3. But it's a good win for Medvedev because, again, it's been a while. He's been, he is a Grand Slam winner, but he hasn't been playing like that. You could see some regression, especially with the young boys playing. So tip our hats to him for his first win. And the last one, on the men's side, the European Open, another BNP Paribas event in Brussels, Belgium. The newly married FAA defeated Jiri Lehecka. 7-6, 6-7, 6-2. His first win as a married woman. As a married man. Sorry about that, FAA. As a married man, and he, in his acceptance speech, he thanked his wife.
Oh, he better
for helping him win the trophy. So hats off to that.
That's great. Yeah, and I think she's an athlete herself, an equestrian or something like that. So, that's good. Good for him. Congratulations to them.
Yeah.
But that was a great win for him. Moves him up in the rankings, puts him still in the race to get to the ATP Finals. Yeah. And he usually plays well at this time of the year indoors. That big serve, those big ground strokes, and so good for him, man. It's a great tournament. Yeah, and one last tournament that ended this week, the BNP Paribas Nordic Open in Stockholm, Sweden. Casper Ruud again bolstered his chance to make the year-end tournament. Defeated Ugo Humbert 6-2, 6-3. Pretty straightforward match. Casper. We used to call him the Ghost because you never saw him coming. He would sneak up on you. Players didn't see him coming. That's right. I think his only tough match was against my boy Sebastian Korda in the third round, or maybe it was a fourth round. But either way, it was a 3-set match. But Casper, we tip our hats to you because,
Again, you win indoors, you win outdoors, you win on clay, you win on fast surfaces, and you're doing your thing. So congratulations. So we've been talking about leading into the year end. So now we're at that point in time where it is the year end. We've got on the men's side the race to Turin. It'll be the final 8 will be played in Italy. For the next gen players, you've got the youngsters who also play. Yeah. They're playing in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. So which style you want on the men's side? Let's talk quickly about the year-end tournament for those top 8 players.
Sure.
So we already know Alcaraz, Sinner, and Novak have already qualified on the men's side.
Right. And I would say right now as it stands, I think everybody, and I would even say the top 6 right now are secure.
Yeah,
I think the top 6 are secure to get in.
But that would be
Alcaraz, Sinner, Djokovic, Zverev, Taylor Fritz, Ben Shelton. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're pretty much secure.
I think they are. Now down from 7 and 8 is going to be tough. Right now, I think FAA has moved into the 8th spot. I think after his win, so that's kind of dropped Musetti down. But you never know. You know what could happen.
Yeah, but you're also missing Alex de Minaur.
Yeah, Demon. Yeah, that's right.
Number 7. In that number 7 spot.
Yeah, so I'm just going to say this again, like I said before. If Carlos and Yannick are in there, we know who's going to meet in the finals.
We probably do.
I'm just saying right now.
Barring any injury.
Exactly. Barring an injury. And I'm saying that because I feel like even these other players who are incredible tennis players, all of them. I mean, this is an incredible lineup of talent that we haven't seen like this many really good players in a while. But I think everybody playing their best, I still think Alcaraz and Sinner will meet in the finals.
Sure.
And just, that's that edge.
I don't disagree with you, but they may have other players to deal with, like Jack Draper, Casper Ruud's in there, Holger Rune. These are all players that are still vying for the final 8 spots. And again,
somebody get on a streak.
They get on a hot streak, playing their serves on, someone's return is off on a day, and you never know.
Yeah.
So those are the guys that are playing they're racing to get into Turin. The next gen stats, or the next gen players on the men's side, Jakob Mensik, Lerner Tien, we should talk more about that.
American.
Yao Fonseca, we talked about him earlier.
Brazilian.
Dino Prismic, Martin Landasi, Nikolai, but I'm not going to butcher that, Kajir, Alexander Blocks, another American, Nisha Basaveretti, Rafael Jadar, and Rodrigo Mendez are those players that are looking to play in Jeddah in Saudi Arabia for the end-of-year tournament. So then they get a little more exposure, just like the big guys.
Right.
You got any player amongst those 2 different tournaments that you want to watch?
Yeah, well, everybody's going to be, of course, looking at Fonseca. He's still waiting. But I say this, that these next-gen players, I hate for people to start hyping them up with a whole lot right now because that puts extra pressure on them. I think they're all projects. They're still in the process of developing as professionals and as champion players. So I don't, it's good to see what they do and see how they play on this stage. And I think it's a great idea to have this so that these younger players up and coming who are probably going to be at that elite level get to showcase their talent on that bigger stage.
Right.
But this tournament is still it's like a roll of a dice. Any one of those kids can beat each other on any given moment. I think some of them have gotten a little more hype and a little more exposure.
Yeah.
And like I said, Fonseca is one of them. But but I think any of them can win. And it's going to be interesting to see. And possibly the one with the biggest hype right now may not be the one that actually makes it, to the top echelons of the game.
Right. Who's that?
I said, no, I'm just saying that
of these
we
players.
can't. Yeah, I wouldn't. There are some that are shining right now, but I wouldn't make a. It's hard for me to make a prediction on who. I think they're all good and talented, and I'm excited to see how they turn out as pros. But they're still a few years in the making.
Okay,
I don't see anybody on that list that I think is going to be fighting for or winning a Grand Slam title.
Oh yeah, we're just talking about the year.
Yeah, no, I know that, but I'm just saying that right now they will eventually. There's some kids up there who I'm definitely want to see how they're going to turn out, but I think that we're still. It's kind of like a
right. So okay, so who you got? Which player would you put your hat on if you were a betting man? Mensik has done well. Fonseca has done well on clay.
Yeah.
I think Lerner Tien from America,
yeah.
He's a player that we're not talking about enough, but I think he's that dude. He might be that dude.
He could be.
He could be because he's got a style like a Michael Chang that gets everything back, doesn't miss, and it's just there. And you don't really appreciate his game until you see it and how consistent he is. And that can be used as a weapon instead of a big serve or big return or something like that. So who you got?
Well, I would say, to me, I like to look at Lerner Tien. I think he is a great talent, and it's coming up. But I still will go with Mensik to me.
Yeah,
I think he is the one to me. I think that will be battling some of these top players next year. He's already beaten Djokovic. He's beaten a couple people on the ATP's top list.
Right.
So, and I just think he to me he has that it thing. That you can play when you're not under pressure. He comes up with the big shots. He's not intimidated by anybody. He's that type of player. When he walks on the court, he expects to win, no matter who's on the other side of the court. He went in Miami. Djokovic is his idol.
Right,
but
he took it to him.
He took it to Djokovic. It wasn't, and got a 1,000 title to boot. So, and I was like, this kid, at that time, he's what, 18, 19? Come on, really? And that's the one I would say that I think will come through.
So, okay, so you're circling Mensik. I'm circling Tien. Just because, first of all, USA all the way.
Yeah, definitely.
But
he and Bastard Veretti, both of those young players, man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing them battle. I'm just saying right now, I think Mensik's just in that.
Yeah. Oh, no doubt, because thus far he's got the most impressive credential win.
Yeah.
So since we're talking about the connection between Mensik and Novak's already qualified for Turin. Do you think he plays?
That's a good question because, his health, he's had some injuries.
Right.
In the last tournament, he had to pull out because of and I think he will play. I think if he is healthy enough to walk on that court, I think the Joker's going to be out there.
Right. But like you said earlier, if Novak is playing against Yannick and Carlos,
not gonna win.
He already acknowledged.
Yeah, he's not gonna beat both of them.
No,
he's not gonna beat both of them.
He's not beating either one of them right now.
Yeah, but definitely not both. But the thing is, if you're Novak Djokovic, I would say, so what? I've already beat the odds. I'm already the GOAT. I'm already all these things established. So everything else is just he's already got the cake. He's just putting the icing on top of the cake. Gonna stick a couple candles on it. But it's basically done. And he has his career. No one can take anything away from him for the career he had. He's gonna be up there with the upper echelon names of the game who we consider. He's already there. Yeah, no doubt. Yeah, so he's playing right now. He's not playing because he needs any points. He's not playing because he wants it. He doesn't need the money. He's playing because he loves the game, and I think he's thinking about his legacy. And if he quit tomorrow, he's straight.
Oh yeah,
but he's probably going to play. And he's what? He's
38.
38,
and he'll turn 39 next year.
Yeah, incredible. It's just and he's doing what. We think about Jimmy Connors, and he was at 38, 39, but he wasn't winning like Djokovic.
No, he wasn't.
39. He was still in there playing, but
he was not.
Novak is.
He had a run at the U.S. Open, and that was
a
about
run.
it.
That's right. This guy's in the run of every tournament.
Yeah. All right. So we talked about the men. So let's talk about the ladies. Their year-end tournament is the race to Riyadh, again in Saudi Arabia. The top players that have already qualified: Sabalenka, Swiatek, Coco, Anisimova, Pegula, Madison. They're all either won Masters 1000s or Grand Slams this year, or been deep in all of those tournaments.
Yes.
Also in the running, you've got Jasmine Paolini, Mighty Mo from Italy, Mira Andreeva, another young player, which I'd like to talk about as a lead-in to my last question. Rybakina, who, again, we just talked about her, and Alexandrova. Who do you like amongst those 10 players to because that's going to, of those 10 players, 8 will play, and 2 of them may be alternates. Who do you like to win the year end?
Well, I'd love to see Coco Gauff win the end.
Right.
And her, the little technical issues she's having with her serve. Now, it's always something, though. They talked about the forehand one time. Now it's the serve. But even with all that, she still finds a way to win a heck of a lot of matches.
Right. She just recently won
before.
So, last week. So
So I would like to see her get through. It's going to be tough, though. Sabalenka is kind of finding her gear now and playing that tennis that she plays, where she just tries to hit everybody off the court.
Right.
But
now she just lost to Jessica in Shanghai.
Right,
so.
right. I was getting ready to say, you just took it because I was getting ready to say that Pegula has come up. I still, she can make a run, and Pegula has a game that could beat anybody. Right. I don't know if she can win this, though. I'm not really confident that she can put it together for that whole week and pull through with the best players in the world constantly. Because that's a different mindset. Because here, you're not going to get every player in there has won at the highest level. They got Grand Slam titles. They got 1,000. So
it's all about who's playing the best at the year.
Exactly. And Swiatek possibly, but I don't see her winning. I know Sandra thinks she's going to win. I don't think she's going to win. I don't see her winning.
I don't think she has the mentality right now at this point in time in the year to really want to play. She's already acknowledged that she thinks the season is too long. So her motivation, her determination for the year-end tournament, if she plays, may not be as high as some other players.
Right. And then we're looking at who could slide in. And Samova could slide in, but I'm telling you.
Well, she's already. She's already qualified.
I know she's qualified, but I'm talking about to actually win and make a ground, get to the finals. Her, and also I would tell you, watch out for Andreeva, man. I'm telling you, this kid, just she's starting to, each time she gets a little stumble, but then she comes back, she improves upon herself, and she's got a long curve to go because she's still 17, 18? Is she 18?
I think she's 18.
18, yeah. Young kid with a lot of punch in her game. So it'll be interesting. And then you always got your other big hitters out there that if they get on a hot streak. These women hit the ball a ton, and the right moment, situation, anything can happen. But I'm going with Coco.
You're going with Coco.
I'm putting it down there. Coco was going to win this thing.
She's going to win her.
She'll meet Sabalenka. She'll meet
year-end tournament. Okay. Sabalenka won last.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going on the limb. You going on the limb?
It's so wide open.
It is.
Sabalenka is always an easy, safe pick. I don't think Swiatek would win. I'm always sentimentally favoriting or wanting Madison to win, but she hasn't really been playing that much after the Open.
Injuries also,
and married life is treating her well too. So but she's qualified after her first first Grand Slam win. Yeah. It's kind of tough. I'm hoping again. I love to see Jasmine play, but I think she's going to peter out because she gets so deep in both the singles and the doubles. She can, and the fact that she is playing for Italy to win the Billie Jean King Cup. They've still got the finals of that team competition to go. So just tough.
lot.
Andreeva is tough. Rybakina, I think, could sneak up on some people,
Mm-hmm.
but we'll know. So if I had to pick a player, I'm just going to pull a rabbit out of my hat and say I'm going to go with Rybakina. She just won. She's playing well, starting to settle in. I think if she is focused, she can beat anybody in the top 8 and beat them. She can hit them off the court, including Sabalenka.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's talk about doubles before we end up with my last question. Again, in Riyadh, the doubles is on the ladies' side. You've got the teams. I'll go from the bottom to the top. You've got Panova Gao. I'm not that familiar with them. Karina Delinia. Not that familiar with them. But Muhammad ensures they're in the hunt to play.
Mm-hmm.
Tamia Babos and Stefani, they're in the hunt to be the
another tough team.
Sue Shui and
always
Yelena Ostapenko, they're in the running. They've actually qualified. You've got Dina Schneider and Mira Andreeva. They've already qualified. Elise Mertens and Kudermetova, they've already qualified. The British duo of Dombrowski and Routliff, they're pretty good.
Very good.
And then the top 2 teams that we know would be a barn burner if we saw them in the finals. Taylor Townsend and Siniakova could possibly play against the number 1 seed or the number 1 ranked team in doubles, Sarah Rani and Jasmine Paolini. So amongst those ladies, who would you pick?
I think you already, you called out the final, I think. I think Townsend and Siniakova, I think they are the best doubles team in the world right now. Yeah. I mean, they got the hardware to prove it. Right. They win Grand Slam titles. They consistently win. And then they split off and go with somebody else and win.
Right.
And come back and play with each other
and win. I know, that's unfair.
Siniakova, man, she got with Coco Gauff. It wasn't even fair.
I know.
And they don't even play with each other regularly.
Right.
They ran through the French Open. So I think that Ratliff and
Dombrowski
are tough.
Yeah.
They are tough, and they have beaten everybody on that list.
Yep.
So that's another team that could make it through. Since you weigh
and Ostapenko.
And another tough. She is, and they're like the yin and the yang kind of. They're just totally opposites, but they work together because she's such a, Ostapenko can hit the cuff off the ball and set up.
Shui.
And Shui is just a double savant.
Right.
She
is
just no matter what, just can just hang with anybody on the court. She is. You see her across the net. People are fearing her because
everything's coming back.
Yeah, she can pull off shots that no other person can hit. She can hit them. Yeah. And smiling the whole time.
Smiling the whole time. Yeah. That's pretty cool. I think I'm in agreement. I like Townsend and Siniakova. I also think Elise Mertens and Kudermetova could potentially be there in the finals. That's just me. But we'll see. It's going to be an exciting year in tournament on the women's side. Yeah. But that makes you wonder. So we talk about the men's top 8 and then the next gen on the men's side. But why isn't there a next gen version on the WTA side? What do you think?
That's a good question. I think a lot of it has to do with why women make less money still than the men on the overall, and why. And I'm saying that they are not that they. Well, no, I'm gonna come out and say it. On some levels, it's unfortunate that their game is still devalued a little bit. I really believe that, even though nothing that they have done merits that, because I mean, we've had this conversation before. Women put butts in the seats too.
Absolutely.
And on some level, they put them in more than the men. And I forgot who it was I watched on a show, and they were just saying that the women's game it's just more nuanced than the men. The men is just power, boom. You got to just crush you. A big forehand, big serve, boom, boom. That's why it seems like matches getting shorter and shorter and shorter on the men's side.
I guess I could see that.
You watch, some of the players, they're crushing the ball, and it's tiebreaker. Tiebreaker. That's it.
Right.
And whoever can. But women, you still have those styles going against each other. You still have there's tactics still going on. There's still, you have the big hitters, but they're not, they still playing out points. They're still playing a tactical game that you see. Not that the men are not. Don't get me wrong. They're playing tactics too. It's just faster and quicker. But the women are more. And so, but why there's no, I think unfortunately, a lot of these sponsors of tournaments don't think that there's a value in that. They don't think anybody's going to come and watch some young female players that nobody's really heard of unless you're in the tennis realm and you follow it.
Right.
To me, now I could be wrong, but I think it's just they look at that and they say, well, nobody's going to really want to watch these. They don't even know who they are.
Right. And, yeah, you've got a good point. So the WTA did try a version of the next gen before their rising star, but it failed. It happened in 2014 to 2015. And the process, so at least the next gen process for ranking these players, there was a ranking system. There was a point system. The WTA's version, it was fan voted. There's some subjectiveness there.
Right.
At least with the ranking, where these young players, they could see in advance and know how many points they would need to get to the year-end tournament if they qualified.
Sure.
So that's one thing. Again, the financial side there, that's always been evident.
And then also, too, Ruffin, you look at why they even had the next gen. Why was that created? That was created because the big three were still
absolutely. That's another point.
And people are saying, well, we'll never get to see who these young players are if we don't give a tournament to highlight them because they're not beaten. They can't beat Federer. They can't beat Djokovic. They're not beating Nadal in the tournaments. That's all we see. So they created this separate thing so we could at least see who these young players are coming up and give them an opportunity. Well, it's never really, you've never had, on the women's side on WTA in the past few years, you haven't had women consistently dominate 3 or 4 women to just win everything.
Sure, and absolutely. Well, actually, you could say that that's not quite true because Sabalenka, Iga, and if you want, you can throw in Coco, have won the slams recently.
Yeah, you named all those numbers.
Right.
But on the men's side, for the longest time, you only had 3 players.
Sure. And
you had 4 different Grand Slam women's championships this year, 4 different ones. And it's been like that for the last few years.
Yeah, absolutely. But as far as
Sabalenka won 2 1 year.
Right, last year.
Yeah, but it's been a variety of champions since the Serena Williams.
And absolutely, again, that was going to be one of my points that there hasn't been the dominant group of players winning everything in every tournament like on the men's side. So there was more visibility of these younger players, and I completely agree. The last really truly dominant player, and it was just one. It was Serena.
Mm-hmm.
She won when she was in her heyday. If she was in the tournament, go ahead and pencil her in the finals.
Yeah.
Same thing we had with Roger back from 2004 to 2006.
Right.
If he was in a tournament, go ahead and pencil him in the finals because that pretty much was what was happening. You never had a dominant player quite that dominant, and certainly not a dominant 3 like you did with on the men's side. So that was one of the reasons why it didn't work. And the WTA has really done a good job of showcasing this younger talent. Look at Coco. Look at Mira Andreeva right now. As soon as they showed the world that they could be on the center stage with all of these players, whether they were differential or not, they went out there and proved it. And you saw all of the notoriety and all of the fame and fortune go directly to these young players. I mean, Coco has been dealing with this since she came on the scene. And who did she beat? She beat Venus at Wimbledon. Same thing with Mira Andreeva. She came out of nowhere last year, and she's steadily been where she is in the top 10 ever since. So the WTA has, I guess, on one side, done a really good job of showcasing these younger players. So there's not necessarily the need, but I agree with that.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
We'll see. I think to do something like that on the women's side is kind of like, and I don't want to say it's counterproductive, because the thing is, we get to see them anyway. It's just like,
Right.
and I think you just expressed that point. These younger players are out there playing, and they're getting the profile, and they're getting into the late rounds of tournaments, and some of them are now winning the tournaments,
Right.
you know. And I think next year, I think one of those young players, other than Coco Gauff, is going to will have a Grand Slam title,
yeah.
I think, you know. But so I would like to, it would be interesting to see if they could pull it off, if the WTA could do that. But it's tough, and somebody, you got to get someone who's willing to put up the money,
Right.
you know, put up the money to have that tournament and have it, you know, to give it what it deserves.
Yeah.
You know, don't throw anything together. Make it first class like you do
Right.
the next
Yeah.
gen, and you know.
And don't let the fans just decide who they think should be there,
yeah.
because
It's not
number
the
one, the
All-Star.
fans don't
It's
know.
not the All-Star game.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's not the All-Star game. The fans don't necessarily always see things objectively. They see it subjectively,
Yeah.
and
They're gonna pick everybody from their country, or their favorite. Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
So yeah,
Right.
that from that standpoint, it might not work.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that's good enough for this episode. Fans, you know, hopefully you like what James and I are talking about. Do you got any parting words?
No, what if you like what we're talking about, or if you don't like what we're talking about? Hey, please write us, send us that to our website. Comment, drop a like. We like likes.
Yeah, we like likes.
And
hit us up on Instagram.
And if you have some ideas about some topics that you would like for us to discuss, then please let us know. We'd like to hear from you.
Yep. And we promise you at the year end in December, be on the lookout for our Squeegee Awards.
It's coming.
So we're going to put something out on the website and on Instagram, so that you have a chance to give us your final thoughts on some of the best players or some of the best events that have happened during the year.
Yeah, it's
So,
black tie event, isn't it? Is it black tie event?
It's a black tie. We're going to make a black tie. Yeah.
Yeah.
So until then, as we always say when it's just me and James, go hit a tennis ball.
Tennis ball.